Here's the man that's about to come up here that has spent his entire adult life fighting for equal rights. His whole life. 17 years at the Williams Institute. Prior to that, I met Brad at an HIV/AIDS fundraiser. We spent years fundraising together with HIV/AIDS. There hasn't been a time that I haven't reached out to Brad for help for someone, an individual, a company, somebody who needed information that Brad wasn't willing to go talk and to share, to direct, to counsel. He also does that with me personally. So Brad's met with presidents. He's spoken as an openly gay, HIV positive advocate. He has spoken as an advocate for trans people. He has visited Cuba and China. But his work in America is what is so important. So we talked, and here's the next step for Brad. He'll stay at UCLA as the Associate Dean of the Law School, and he'll stay at the Williams Institute as an advisor. But the money raised tonight will go directly to an LGBT and gender non-conforming clinic that Brad is forming to train future advocates, allies, and leaders so that we keep these laws, that there are also young, empathetic, hopeful young men and women that Brad can mentor, train, teach, and show them the love in the right way so that one more person does not die in the United States for being human. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Brad Sears, the most remarkable man in the world.
That's a lot. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. When I was a little boy in Grain Valley, Missouri, population 90, they sing that song every week, and it meant something different then than it does tonight. But a lot of us were lost, and a lot of us had to find ourselves, and a lot of us had to find ourselves and find our way from towns all over this country with populations of 90 and 1,000 and several thousand to this room. And I am so grateful. So grateful that each of us is here tonight, because each of us know what an intense personal journey that was, and what an intense journey over the obstacles out there in the world to get here tonight. So most of all, I just want to share my love with each and every one of you and my best friend Barbara. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to be really quick. I want to talk about three things: gratitude, truth and lies, and being an ally. And in terms of gratitude, like I said, I'm thankful that all of you are here tonight. I'm thankful I get to leave this job. I never thought it would happen. Some of you never thought it would happen. But for a different reason that you may know, I came to UCLA for the good government benefits. I had diagnosed with AIDS in 1995. I had a great doctor at that time. I said, how long will these new medications last? He said about 5 years. 5 years later was 2000, and I was like, well, I better get someplace where I can be easily disabled. There was no Williams Institute, no big dream. Sorry, Dean Manukin. My big plan was that health insurance. So I can't tell you how grateful that God had something different in store for me, that life had something different in store for me, that those drugs continue to last for me, and I know for many of you to this day. And there was a time in my life I thought I would never get the chance to make a difference, that I would never live long enough to have an impact. I'm very grateful that God gave me not only the skills to do that, but the length of life to do that. So I want to share gratitude and thank God. Then I just want to say something briefly about truth and lies, because we're living in an era of lies, and the Williams Institute is all about truth. Bambi is all about truth, and I've seen her shower for the truth. Lee and Amaya are about truth and using their art and their expression and their stories to tell the truth of lives that are spread to so many. And the Williams Institute uses data to say that those aren't individual stories. They are the stories of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people across this country, and they tell those stories in the form of data that policymakers listen to. And that is what we do. But we all know, if you're in this room, you know the power of lies. You know that lies can become so thick and so fast, you don't even know who you are. When I was growing up in Missouri, I had no idea what a gay person was and what that meant and that you could live a positive gay life. But somewhere deep inside of me was some truth, and that truth couldn't be killed. And somehow I was able to express that, and each of you were able to express that, and we can express that truth together. And it is that experience of being able to share our truth against a wall of lies, which means that we are at the vanguard of facing down this administration. So retweet, keep retweeting, keep posting again. You can't share a story, a thought, rephrase something too many times, because that's the difference what we have now than what this what fascists like our fascists have had in other countries. We have the ability to speak and speak over and over again, so we can drown out those lies with our truth, so keep on doing it. And I just want to wrap up about saying I don't like the word ally. I don't like the word ally, and for two reasons. Because ally means I'm doing something to help you. And that's not my story. That's not my story. When I was born in 1969, transgender people were facing the batons of police at the Stonewall Inn, and they were fighting for me. They were my ally. In 1979, when I was a little boy in elementary school, and they said the boys line up here and the little girls line up here, and I knew whatever they meant by boy, they didn't mean me. The transgender people were already fighting the way, and they're fighting today in schools all across the country. And in 1989, when I came out, and for a few months I was disinvited from living in my house, and I moved from a farm in Grain Valley, Missouri, down to the streets of Kansas City. Yeah. There was a group of people there who got me through 3 months. And they gave me a place to live. They said being gay and being who I was okay. And I got to leave those streets in 3 months when many of them did not. And virtually everything I've done since then today is because of those kids, most of whom aren't here today. So I have not been an ally to the trans community. The trans community has been an ally to me, and I thank you. The other reason I don't like the word ally is allies get to decide when to leave the fight. Allies get to decide when to go home, when the battle is over. And I know for trans women of color, for all transgender people, they don't get to make that choice. So I'm telling you right now, Barbara Jacobs is not an ally who is ever going to leave this battle. Brad Sears is not an ally who is ever going to leave. And I hope if you are in this room, you know that you are not an ally in the sense that you can just lay down arms and give up this fight. But we're going to be here until there are no more murders, until there are no more suicides, until all of us are free of gender. So thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Now you get to part